When playing bebop solos, we use a lot of swing eighth notes. It gives it that really strong feel, and the accent, of course, is on the end of the beat. But if you really want to spice up your playing, make it sound a lot more professional, and give it variety, it's a good idea to mix different rhythms into your bebop solos. So in this video, we're going to focus on one specific rhythm that can really make you sound a lot more professional and advance your playing quite a bit. What is it we're talking about? The eighth note triplet. You can play that triplet on any beat of the bar, and I'm going to give you several examples of how to incorporate it into your playing. First of all, we know that a triplet looks like this, as opposed to eighth notes, which are this. Now, if you put that triplet on the first beat of the bar, as in this one, let's say this is a specific bar in 4/4 time, and you put that triplet on the first beat, it has a specific sound. Let's take a look at a 2-5-1 progression in E flat. And a little bit later, we're gonna focus on the tune Teach Me Tonight, but we'll get there in just a minute. Just let's do in the key of E flat, which is the key we're gonna play Teach Me Tonight in. Let's do a 2-5-1 progression in E flat. Okay, if we're putting the triplet feel on the first beat, let's talk about scales first. Just any scale on a 2-5-1, for example, this is your scale. If that were swing, it would be like this. Okay, now let's put the triplet on the first beat of the bar. That's a pretty cool sound. Let's put it on the second beat. I'll just write that out quickly. Got 2 eighth notes, then your triplet, then 4 eighth notes. Let's hear what that sounds like using the same scale. Okay, that's a cool sound. Let's put it on the third beat. Let's put it on the fourth beat. Cool, right? Let's put it on the first beat and the fourth beat. Now you'll notice that we're adding more notes to the scale. We're still ending up on the destination note, which is the third of our E flat major 7 chord. So always when you're thinking destination note, think chord tone. In this case, the third of E flat major 7. Let's put 2 sets of triplets at the end of the bar. Let's put 3 sets of triplets. So when you're adding more triplets to a single bar and you're still using the same destination note, you need to add more passing notes, and the best types of passing notes are basically chromatics. If we did 4 sets of triplets in that bar, it would sound something like this. So it's a good idea to practice things like using it on a 2-5-1 progression using scales. Now you can come down the scale as well. It might sound something like this if the triplet were on the first beat. Or on the second beat. Or on the third. Or on the fourth. You get the idea. So that's how to use it for scales. Basically, the more triplets you put in on the beat, you have to add more passing notes. Now, let's talk about it in the context of arpeggios. And this is where we get really important jazz licks. So let's say we're doing a 2-5-1 in E flat major, and this is the arpeggio on F minor 7. So that's 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 9 and 11. Now what good bebop players tend to do is add a passing note in front of the triplet, like this. I'm sure you've heard that a million times. So we ended with an enclosure there. Okay, and we can do that coming down the arpeggio as well. Let's put it on the second beat. So you can do the same thing there. You can add it on any beat, but we're playing arpeggios instead of scales. Now, the last place that you can incorporate triplets is on enclosures. So let's say we're doing our 2-5-1 and the destination note is still the same. It's this G up here. We want to end there, but we want to incorporate an enclosure getting to that note using triplets. It might sound something like this. Now, you can use triplets on other types of enclosures. One interesting one that a lot of people use is they use it on the flat 9 and the sharp 9. So if we're doing our F minor arpeggio first, we can do, this is the flat 9 and this is the sharp 9 of B flat 7. So there's your flat 9, there's your sharp 9. Play the arpeggio first of F minor, and then your triplet feel on flat 9 and sharp 9. Or like this. All right, let's take a look at Teach Me Tonight. I think you all know the tune. Now let's just play a solo over the A section and see how many times we can incorporate triplet notes into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think turnaround. So when you get to the solo section, your turnaround would be E flat major 7 to C7 of some kind, then 2-5-1 of E flat. So it ends on 1, and then I've got 2 bars of break to do the turnaround and play some type of solo. So I might start something like this. And then we're up on the head of the tune. And then we're into the bridge. So the interesting thing about what I just played is that I threw in a lot of triplets, and it certainly wasn't my most inventive solo of all time, but I'm really just trying to make a point that you can put in your 8th note triplets pretty much anywhere you like, and it does add a lot of variety to your playing. Now, I did use some 16th notes in there as well, and a couple of other blues licks, things like that, but mostly I was just trying to use the 8th note triplets. To recap a little bit, you can use your triplets in scales, you can use them on your arpeggios, and you can also use them on your enclosures. Now, of course, there are other uses for triplets, but that's all we're going to talk about in this video, and those are certainly the most important places to use your 8th note triplets. If you had a good time and you learned something, I'd like you to reach down, give the video a thumbs up. It really helps us here at the channel. If you want to subscribe, we'd love to have you. Just click the little bell when you do, and we'll notify you of all the weekly upcoming videos that we're making. And if you're looking for more information on how to play great bebop solos, I suggest you check out this video next.